Okay, so what I've done, I've started making the gear blank for the large gear. I haven't got any material the right size to make it as one piece, so it'll be made up as three. So I've made the first two pieces. Well prep on both of them, both sides, and that'll be welded in the middle. Pressed together. It's got about a half thou press fit. Press it, weld it together, and then I'll make up the next piece, which will be the hub. I'm looking at incorporating the hub and everything all in one, and then weld it in. So get this welded in, then I can machine this, the weld prep on this, and get it true, theoretically, and bore the guts out true to this outer side once it's all welded together, and then weld the next piece in. That's the plan. Whether it works or not, I don't know. If this fails, I'm going to have to search around for a piece of material that I can do it all in one piece. Not too bad. Can weld this up now, both sides. Give it a quick spin, bore the guts out true to the outside. And then when it's all done, it's about 3mm over width. I can just clean both faces up back to the proper dimension. I went ahead and welded them two pieces together and faced this side off, and obviously cleaned up, took a skim off the other side, off the outside, done the bore, held it in the centre and skimmed this side off. It's still over dimensioned, but apart from these two inclusions here, which I'm thinking about putting like a dish or something in here just to break it up. Actually looks alright, eh? Can hardly see where the joint is. Okay, I've got a piece of bar stock chucked up. This is going to be the centre portion of the gear, and incorporated with the drum that the strap goes onto. This is exactly 65mm bore with a weld prep. This bar here will come through this side and protrude at 5mm as the plans say. So I'm going to hack all this off. This does have a keyway in it, this piece of material, but I think I'll just get rid of that key. Okay, that's 65.08 should I say. What I plan to do is get this on here, weld it in, and highlighting one piece. You can't beat these TNGG inserts. You've seen the finish, and that was a very, well, that lighter cut, it didn't ever take that mark out from the WNMG there. Just nailed it. Can't beat it. She's pretty darn close fit there, eh? I'll take you say the press and press it on, and then I think I've got to do some jobs for the young fella. So that's my Sunday gone. That's home. Right, I just quickly welded that on. Welded it in, on, whatever. So I'm going to put this back in the chuck, and I'll turn this bottom section, the drum section, then I can hold it on it and then finish the features on here. There's got to be an internal bore and everything put in here too. I expect it to have a little bit of run out. too bad. So basically, I'm just going to machine it down until I get rid of that keyway and get a nice finish on it. Then I'll worry about doing the length, the features, and yeah, the rest of it. Got to open this end bore up now to accept this 50mm boss here. Put in the end. This centre bore here has just got to be clearance hole out 32mm. I'm at 28 at the moment. So I'm in two minds. I've got to put a 20mm bore at the end, plus I've got to finish the features on the other end as well. I'm in two minds whether I try and bore it with this bar, which tends to get a little bit of deflection at a longer length, obviously. I think I'm just going to swap out to a 4-jaw and clock it all up in the 4-jaw and then finish all the other end, and just hopefully I'll get it concentric enough that's not going to bind up once the teeth are on and in the winch. So it should be right. Okay, I've put it up in a 4-jaw, 2 indicators set up on the face. I've also had this indicator out on here. They're both running within half a thou, or roughly a thou. Plenty good enough for this job. So what I've got to do is bring this width to final dimension, this diameter final dimension. Once I got this, do this width first, which is 20mm. Then this has to be 5mm from this face, this say the boss. It's got to be a 5mm protrusion and a 20mm bore. Now I'm probably going to put a bit of a dish in here to get rid of this weld undercut. It's only for cosmetics. It's nothing real. Yeah, just sort of blend it in and make it look pretty. Anyway, close enough is good enough today. Clean up all that weld, I'm very surprised. Spot on 20mm. So now I've got to come off 5mm from this face and face this off. Okay, going back to Imperial, I've got 6 thou left to take off this face to bring it within 5mm from this face. Changed over the TNGG insert to get a good finish, and then I'm going to try and blend this, just chamfer this off, blend it all into one. So 197 thou, which is 5mm. Spot on from that face, so we've won that. Now the plans say this boss here is down to 40mm and then tapers off and puts a scallop in here at the same time. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to blend this in till this weld clears up and leaving it at that. How I'm going to do that, I don't know just yet. Let me have a think about it and a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Inclusion now. I don't want to take any more of that weld off, so it's just going to have to stay there, that bit. I'm not concerned about it, just adds a little character. It says on the plans too, there's got to be like a 40mm boss sticks out from here, so I'm just going to shave it down and then just put another angle on it so there's a 40mm boss protruding. So I'd say when there's a thrust washer or there's a bit of brake pad that comes up and sits up against this, act as a brake, just keep it all in, yeah, so it looks clean and neat. Good enough, I reckon. What do you think? Good enough? It's not as the plans say. This is meant to have a scallop in it. I could put that in, but I sort of like the beefy look. Anyway, I'll bring this down to dimension now, which has got to be 145mm. We are... it's 140, 145. We're at 149. .01 up. Close enough. This has to have a chamfer on each side for the gear teeth. Just got to find a left-hand turning tool now to do this other side. This bore has to come out to 20mm now to accept the shaft to go through there. Still got a bit of a ways to go. 17.16. Just under 3mm to come out. I don't really like that finish it's getting much, but like it's smooth, it just doesn't, looks like shit. Got it to fit. will work. Technically that part is finished, bar the dish in the plan said to put a dish in this, but I don't think I'm going to bother. I quite like the look of that. This part can come out and be put aside until I get my gear cutters. But overall, from 3 pieces of material into one, I'm pretty happy with that. There we go. That's what that's going to look like. It's got to have a 6mm plate disc put on between these two here. It's got to have some set screws put in. This here to hold this disc in place. And the plans call for a flat to be on here to bolt the strap to. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use a strap or whether I'm going to use wire rope yet. I don't know. Hence why I haven't done that yet, but I can always put that on later. Easy enough with the fly cutter. Just come in and just miss this face here and do it with the fly cutter. Anyway, I think it's time to give the lathe a bit of a clean up because it's absolutely atrocious. Piece of it's about 6.5mm this plate, which I'm pretty lucky. It's got to be 6mm when it's finished, so hopefully I can clean it up, get the rust off it. That bit of plate will end up being 135mm round, and it goes in between here and here. That's like the other wall for where the strap runs, or the rope. So plan is, it's got to have a 52mm bore in it. I can get that done, and then I'll work out how I'm going to do the outer radius. That's what we're going to do next. We have 0.6 to come out. I'll settle for that. I'll work out how I'm going to get these corners off. Probably just end up just grinding them off, holding it by the centre and just gently doing the outside. So what I've done here, I've just taken a very light cut. So this face here is parallel to the bore. So I'm going to put it back in the 3 jaw now and hold it by this centre. So I trimmed the corners off with the grinder, just a bit of a head start. Right, oval, shooting for 135 diameter. .135.04, that'll do. This is definitely going to be a bit thinner than what the plans say, but that's nothing I can do about that. Okay, I can turn this around now. I'll deal with that little piece of little tiny bit in the very centre there. But that'll sit in the recess here, so it's not going to give me any grief for now. And, that should spin straight. Well, that is straight anyway. I'll get this side cleaned up and I'm going to leave that raised bit there because that'll be the same size as that, because it's going to end up a little bit thinner than what the plans say. So that'll just take up that gap Yep, I reckon that's a good idea. Okay, I'm going to flick it around and put a TNGG insert over this now. Speed it up, get that ultimate finish. The plans call for a chamfer on this top edge. I'm going to change that, I don't like the look of that. Give it a bit more. Okay. Just got to clean up this lip on the inside there. I'll just do that and then that bit will be finished. Okay, I'll just quickly roughly put it together. That's how it's going to go. So obviously gear teeth on here, strap in here. That's it. I do have to put some set screws in here, 3 set screws to hold this cap in, and then yeah, and that'll be retained and be it's all good to go. So definitely starting to make a good little headway here now. It's starting to actually look like something.